You might have been noticed the recent waves of critics and videos about artists' experiences with streaming platforms like Spotify. Millions of plays, blue check marks, all that fancy stuff, but trust me, the reality is different. This isn't one of those videos where I cry about how unfair the industry is. I just want you to look at the numbers. The result I'm about to show you might just make you question the entire streaming era. 17 years ago, when I started learning music production, it was literally the Stone Age, the era of dial-up internet, laggy connections, and tutorials that didn't even have visuals. There were no YouTube channels breaking down mixing secrets or fancy plugins like today. You had to read boring text threads on music forums. But I didn't care. I had this fire in me that one day I was gonna pop the fuck off, win a Grammy, or at least be a part of a big project. Meanwhile, I was studying petroleum engineering, sleeping maybe 3 hours a day just to chase my dream. My main focus was finishing a solid track as my first release. Fast forward to 2017. Finally, it started paying off. I got signed by a legit label called Indie Select, which was a property of EDM.com. That was a big moment for me. Within 2 years, I released 4 tracks with them and got tons of plays on SoundCloud, YouTube, and Spotify. Everything looked perfect on paper, and I couldn't be happier, to be honest. But here's the catch. For some reason, the label decided to shut everything down. And out of almost 240,000 plays, guess how much I made? 0. After that disaster, I said I'll be my own boss. I don't need labels. I started self-releasing music. I sent my tracks to mastering engineers and made sure the quality was top-notch. Because I didn't want bad sound to hold me back. As you know, that's not cheap. And it worked. Kind of. One of my lo-fi projects started picking up traction. I got around 80k plays on Spotify. I thought, this is progress. People like my music. Then I checked my DistroKid account after almost a year. 259,000 plays, and my share was $247.12 for 250,000 plays. That's nuts. On average, each track took about 50 hours to produce and another 5 to 10 hours for mixing and mastering. I had 10 self-released tracks. That's around 550 hours in total. When you do the math, $247 divided by 550, that's about 45 cents an hour. That's crazy, right? And just to mention again, this is not about how good or bad my songs are. This is only about how number works in this industry. You be the judge. So maybe self-release wasn't the move. That's what I thought at that time. I decided to sign with another label. At least I wouldn't have to handle the promo myself. I released 8 tracks through the new label and got around 100,000 plays. They had an automatic royalty payment system, so this time, even if they disappeared, I still get my share. After a while, I logged in and ready to see my big paycheck. When I checked, only 3 of my tracks were actually showing on my profile. I was shocked because I released 8 tracks with them, and my share for 68,000 plays was around $50. $50 for 68,000 streams? At that point, I realized it doesn't matter whether you're independent or signed. It's not about how you release. This is just how streaming payouts work for artists. Let's talk about this for a second. Spotify pays around $0.003 per stream. That means even if you hit 1 million plays, you're looking at roughly $3,000 before your label, distributor, and taxes take their cut. To make a full-time living off of Spotify, you'll need millions of streams every month. And most indie artists don't even crack 10,000. You might get lucky. Maybe your track goes viral because some random guy edited a clip of a psycho dancing to your song. But that doesn't happen to everyone. Unless you're touring, licensing, or building a real audience somewhere else, it's nearly impossible to make a living off of Spotify. Long story short, after 17 years of producing, 2 label deals, thousands of hours spent, and hundreds of thousands of plays, I've learned one thing. Self-release is still best option. At least you keep the full control. And the satisfaction that whatever little money comes in, it's yours. No middleman, no broken promises, no sudden disappearances. But if you really want to grow as an artist, focus on YouTube. Build your audience. Share your process, your story, your journey. YouTube still rewards creators for engagement, not just numbers. One good video can bring more fans, more exposure, and one more income than a million Spotify streams ever could. Of course, you might ask, you just started doing it yourself. How do you even know? Well, my friends and other artists' experiences proved my point. Spotify is a joke, but music isn't. Keep creating. Just make sure you're playing the right game. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thought about this video through comment section, and see you next time.